So for our thesis statement, it aims to establish the theological significance of God as the sole creator, highlighting his self-sufficient nature, complete authority over all creation, and the absence of any external influences or limitation on his creative power. So for our supporting evidences for the thesis, supporting number 1, it allows us to explore the true concept of God's immensity and self-contained nature, demonstrating that his fullness, principle, power, and divinity encompass all things and cannot be surpassed or contained by any other entity, emphasizing the inherent necessity and uniqueness of God's supreme existence, thus rendering his existence to be realistic. Supporting thesis number 2, because we are privileged due to the availability of compelling evidence and knowledge accessible to the Church, there is no need to search for truth or understanding in looking for other sources, highlighting the reliability and comprehensive nature of the Church as a trustworthy stock when in terms of knowledge and spiritual guidance. And lastly, through its teachings, scripture and sacraments, the Church offers a framework for understanding the world and our place in it, as well as a path to spiritual fulfillment and salvation. So our valid objection number 1 is God's self-contained nature refers to the idea that he is self-sufficient and independent. Unlike any other entity, God does not rely on external factors for his existence, sustenance, or power. This self-contained nature underscores the notion that God's existence is not contingent upon anything else, making it inherently necessary and realistic. Objection number 2, through the exploration of God's immensity, self-contained nature, and unsurpassable attributes, the argument asserts the inherent necessity of God's supreme existence and suggests that the very nature of God, as depicted in the thesis, requires his existence as an essential aspect of reality. Without God's existence, the framework proposed in the thesis would be incomplete, rendering his existence realistic. And lastly, none has the capability to go throughout the whole book and can easily be convinced by the Church. But it also helps the Church be more eager in perceiving people who do not believe the existence of God, so it can still be a win-win situation.
So my answer to each objection is, first, the idea of God's self-contained nature as being self-sufficient and independent is a common theme across many religious traditions. So it emphasizes that God is not dependent on anything outside of himself and is the source of all existence. Answer number 2, God requires his existence as an essential aspect of reality, in which it emphasizes the central role that God plays in the creation and sustenance of the universe and underscores the importance of understanding the nature of God for understanding the nature of reality itself. Answer number 3, so the Church may be more eager to engage with and understand those who do not believe in God for a variety of reasons. So these reasons can include evangelism, dialogue, and understanding, social justice, and personal growth. So my example that illustrates the answer is number 1. In Christianity, the Bible also emphasizes God's self-sufficiency and independence as seen in passages such as "For in him and move and have our being," where it emphasizes that God is the source of all life and existence and that he does not depend on anything outside of himself. Example number 2 is in Christian theology, the doctrine of the Trinity in Christianity emphasizes the idea that God is both self-existing and self-relating. Example number 3 is engaging with those who do not believe in God can also be an opportunity for personal growth and learning. So it can challenge one's own beliefs and assumptions and can provide opportunities to learn from other perspectives. So my own insight on each answer. So God does not depend on anything outside of himself is a central concept in many religions including Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. So this concept is often referred to as God's self-sufficiency or or self-existence. Insight number 2, these aspects of God's nature reveals that He is both transcendent and immanent, both beyond the world and intimately involved in it. So my insight number 3, so by engaging in respectful dialogue with those who hold different beliefs, we can deepen our own faith, develop our critical thinking skills, and foster greater empathy and understand others.
In conclusion, to acknowledging these limitations, one can appreciate the significance of human striving, perseverance, and the pursuit of excellence as integral aspects of the human condition. While it is assumed that God possessed the capability to grant perfection at the outset, the inherent constraints arising from the recent creation of mankind made it impractical for humans to receive, contain, or sustain this type of perfection. This perspective underscores the fundamental understanding that the human experience is characterized by a journey of growth and development rather than an immediate attainment of perfection.